It might be a storm of brewing, y'all. After 12 consecutive positive weeks of the stock market, oh, it hurts. Stocks cratered, the market went down, but it happens. But it's that old story about a city being rebuilt that makes us look at the 3 stocks we're going to talk about and how they could be an opportunity of a lifetime. And thinking about an old city, just like this past weekend, it was a storm in the stock market. But if you have one group of individuals who are planting seeds for growth and another group of individuals who are sitting on the sideline complaining about the storm, who do you think is going to win in the long run? Us nurturing those seeds, putting those investments in during a time of uncertainty. When the storm's coming, those seeds that we plant today will flourish compared to the ones complaining, missing out when they have a chance to get in today. And Teradyne, one of the stocks that we talked about, surged. Even though they've been down, the company has been planting those seeds for times like this. So when it's chaos and uncertainty after great gains of the stock market, you look at a company like them to be successful. Amazon, Amazon, Bezos, they stumbled. They had their worst day in 5 years. Do you think Amazon is a good investment opportunity, or do you think it's going to continue to go down? Meanwhile, Monolithic Power, the company behind the video, the company that people don't talk about, but slowly but surely are in position to grow because of chips and an AI. Today, we're going to unpack how to plant those seeds during a time of uncertainty because the market might continue to go down. We're going to look at who's retreating and who's in position to grow because of the unknown. Before we get started, as always, like, subscribe, and share to our channel. In real life, I'm a certified financial planner. Been blessed to help thousands of people worldwide, but only social media airways will give information. And this information is going to help you protect the bag, grow the bag, but most importantly, have information, because information and education is the key. So like, subscribe, and share our channel. But y'all ready to go over these 3 stocks of the week? Let go.
And you just wanna get paid. Tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Yeah, pay for profits to help you seek change. And you just wanna get paid. Yeah, tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Pay for profits to help you seek change. Yeah, cut the show and just listen. You wanna feel empowered by making money decisions.
If you guys say yes to these 3 questions, you are in the right place. Number 1, what is the stock cratering this week? But why is that stock the stock of the next decade? And do you know what that is? Number 2, if a niche company has lost a lot of money, but out of nowhere made as much as they lost, do you think that's a good investment or a bad investment? And number 3, where will your position be in a form of investing your money in the next phase of the technology revolution? Do you think it's in building, rebuilding, or creating another infrastructure that does not collapse? If you say yes to those 3 questions, then my friends, you're in the right place, because the stock of the week is Teradyne. Symbol TER, up, my friends, by 19% for the week. 19%. It takes the market on average almost 2 years to make 19%, but in 1 week, Teradyne did that. So, who is Teradyne? It sounds like Sensodyne for the people that use that to brush their teeth. But Teradyne, my friends, is a company that you want to look out for. So, we have these things called chips. But in order to make sure you have quality control around the chip, Teradyne is a company that you look into. The sole thing that they do is to auto test every single AI chip and the equipment around it. And they are the company that's helped leading the chip validation. Because companies spend a lot of money on chips, but the chips have to be validated, meaning once it's created, does it work properly? Does it malfunction? Because people look at a chip as a DNA, right? In our body, we have our DNA, blood vessels, arteries. Where chip is just giving information. If I have a bad chip and I spend a lot of money, I'm not happy. So Teradyne is a company that validates those chips. Anybody here old school and used to have a floppy disk and had to put that floppy disk into a computer? When that floppy disk worked, we were happy. When it didn't work, it was an issue. Even the hard disk that you put in, all that data on that silver thing, that doop, 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 all that data was built into their chips. A company has to validate that, and Teradyne is a company doing that. So all the chips that are created by NVIDIA, TSM, Semi Microcomputers, AMD, even Intel, even though Intel is losing money out the wazoo, they have to get those chips validated, and Teradyne is a company that's doing that. But Teradyne has been spending so much money on their business and investing in themselves. Quarter after quarter, they have been losing money. Until, my friends, 6 months ago, they said, you know what? It's time to take action. It's time to reap these benefits. And instead of investing in us, invest in revenues and start making profits. And their earnings were dramatic. After last quarter having an 11% decline in revenue, now they made money. And even though their stock has been down dramatically, down by 13% this year, so 100,000 in January 1st is now 87,000, they popped up by 19% this week alone, because they have showed everybody when we concentrate on making profits instead of investing in our business, we are the ones that everybody needs. And they have what we call a monopoly. They're the only company right now that have certain certifications to do that for the chip companies. And with the demand of AI, that's not going to stop. It's going to continue. This company will be in the forefront, making sure large companies, all the big companies out there, the Fortune 500 companies that buy these chips, spend thousands, if not millions of dollars in some cases, is validated so they're not buying on a lemon. We go to the car dealership. We got to sign that agreement. This car is not a lemon. They are the protective service to validate those chips, to make sure the chips that we buy is not a lemon. My friends, 19%. I personally think they're just getting started. And yes, for the last 5 years, they're up by 23%, which is still bad. The QQQ, or the index for the NASDAQ, is almost doubled. S&P up by 60%. But they have underperformed. But because they're investing in themselves, because they have been spending money on themselves, not on advertisements, not on salespeople to make profits. When the storm is a-coming, they're going to be the ones to be looked at. And my friends, Teradyne, not a recommendation, but information, might be the stock of the next few months because they're just getting started. Talking about just getting started, but it's been started for a long time, is the low performance stock of the week that we all know and love, especially my wife. I see them boxes coming to the house every single day. That is Amazon. Amazon down by 7.21%. And on Friday, its worst day in 4 years, down by 8%. Oh, that hurts, because we all have Amazon in our portfolios, my clients and everybody else. You have an index fund, S&P 500, you have Amazon. An index fund like QQQ, you have Amazon. If you have a pension, that pension fund is investing in Amazon, one of the largest companies of the world. That shows you, doesn't matter how small, doesn't matter how big. Companies have good days and they have bad days. But my friends, Do we think Amazon being down by basically 8% in 1 week is a buying opportunity or a selling opportunity? Now, I don't got to give you guys all the great things that Amazon's doing, but I'm going to do anyways. AWS, Amazon Web Services. 95% of Fortune 5 companies use them to track all their data. Because instead of having these big servers like they had 20, 30 years ago, it's all in small servers that you rent. And that's done by Amazon. We all know about Amazon.com shopping-wise. Again, my wife knows it's amazing what you can buy. Here in Jacksonville, Florida, 80% of what we buy is now one day. We are impatient if we buy something if it takes a week. 5 years ago, that was the norm. 2 days not fast enough. Now it's 1 day. And Amazon's not stopping because the drones, within next year, they're going to try to cut that one day, to 12 days with drones. The future is right now. Anybody has Whole Foods, you can deliver or get delivered your Whole Foods in 1 day. And now they are in the process of doing Amazon Healthcare. A year from now, they will be on the marketplace and you can buy healthcare services through Amazon. Your prescriptions through Amazon. You think their stock in 1 year is going to go up or going to go down? My friends, even though Amazon is down by 8% in 1 day, 7.21% for the week, its worst day in 4 years, Amazon is the opportunity of the week, opportunity maybe of the next 6 months. Now there's going to be other stocks that'll make more than Amazon. And Amazon might go down this week and next week and the week after. We don't know. Amazon ain't going, you guys, nowhere. And we're going to look back at today. Mr. Painful Profits, Convos with the CFP, one of the largest black-owned investment firms in America, me, Mario Payne, saying you not buying Amazon today was a miss. And it may go down more. It might open up on Monday and go down, and on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, on a Tuesday. But we all know, my friends, it's going to recover. And I believe the opportunity, the short-term opportunity, is Amazon. Even if it goes down, it's going to go back up. And something being down by 8% means an 11% gain. So even if it gets back to where it was on Thursday, that is a 11% gain. And my friends, the market on average makes 9%. So in 1 year it makes 11%. You're still happy. But I would be shocked, hurt, astonished if Amazon only made 11% the next year. I, in my humble opinion, think because it's dropped, Amazon can easily go up by another 20 to 30% over the next 12 to 18 months. And that leads us to the opportunity of the week. Drum roll, MPWR. Who is that? Monolithic Power, up by 9.9%, basically 10% last week. So your question is, who is Monolithic Power? Well, they are a quiet giant when it comes to AI. And yes, it's a theme here, AI, because AI is the future, you guys. But that quiet giant in AI and semiconductors is Monolithic Power. They actually are the chips in every single Tesla. Also, the data centers, you know, those AI bots that send you guys messages, and also those AI phone calls that you get that you think is a person, you don't know is a person. In 2 years, we're not going to know the difference. But guess who is the company besides housing all that data? So when you say one thing, it gives you an answer. When you say something else in that chat bot, it gives you an answer. All that data has to be stored somewhere. And the chip facility that's storing all that data for you, Monolithic Power. Why haven't I heard of them before? It's a lot of companies you haven't heard of because a lot of companies like to be very quiet and sell not to the public, but to enterprises, large companies. And their biggest payer of revenue is Tesla. Now, we can say we want about Elon Musk. Tesla ain't going anywhere, y'all. Their second biggest payer, Amazon. Their third, the U.S. government. And we know when it comes to the government, dollar bills, y'all. Now, as long as you don't do anything crazy, you're going to get that contract year after year after year. And Monolithic Power is paying dividends because of that. This year, they're up by 33% when the stock market is up by $700,000. $100,000 in January. An index fund made $7,000. Monolithic Power made $33,000. The past year, up by 58%. The past 5 years, up by 270%. 5x. 5 times better than the stock market the past 5 years. And my friends, it's only going to get wider because of first of its kind. When you have an advantage of being first, like Tesla when it comes to electric cars, it's very hard for companies that's paying you a lot of money and governments that's paying you a lot of money to shift and give money to the competitors. That's why NVIDIA is doing so well, because they were first of its kind to include AI in their chips. Monolithic Power, a company that no one is talking about, but a company that's taken Wall Street by storm, and they love it. They're out the news, but they're selling not to the common folks like me and you, not to the small businesses like my firm, Tomes Financial, 20 or less employees. They're not going after us. They're going after the big boys and girls, the Procter & Gamble's, the Microsofts, the big old companies, the banks. Yes, the banks as well. That is their marketing spin, and that is their concentration. So because of that, we won't really hear about Monolithic Power unless it's from your favorite CFP. But this is a stock we want to look at. Now, recommendation-wise, never buy at the high. And companies, even if they're great, like Amazon, will go down. I'm not saying Monolithic Power is going to go down by 8% like Amazon did. But if it goes down 2, 3, 4, 5%, that is when we look at to buying it, not when it hit another all-time high. Like Microsoft, like Meta, all-time highs right now. Might want to sell a little bit. Wait till it goes down like Amazon did, then buy at a lower price. But my friends, those are the stocks and opportunities of a week. Teradyne up by 19%. Amazon, maybe the opportunity of the week though when it goes back up because it's down by 7.21%. And Monolithic Power, a company that we've probably never heard of, but it's taking chip making and AI data centers by storm, up by 9%, up by 33% for the year, 5 times better than the stock market over the past 5 years, and they're just getting started. So as always, like, subscribe, share to our channel. What do you guys think? Great information? Is it a stock I'm missing out on? If so, comment. Let me know what stock should we be talking about. Or are these stocks great picks? Let me know that as well. Again, having one of the largest black-owned investment firms in America releasing his own, me and my business partner releasing our own ETF on the stock market 3 years ago. I think we know something about investing. Don't know everything because nobody knows everything but God, but we're here to help. As always, though, love is love. Let's make some painful or painless profits together, y'all. Peace!